Welcome to this video. In this tutorial, I will show you all the tools that NanoSights offers to improve your websites. Whether it is about seeing how your users engage with your website, or to improve the speeds or the A11Y accessibility compliance, you will learn this today. So stick with me and I will show you how you can easily improve all the aspects of your websites. So stick around and I will show you how you can do this. For this video, I want to use my personal portfolio website as a demo project. As you can see, it has some basic content, animations, and some styling applied to it. Nothing too fancy, but a perfect starting point for this video. My plan for this project is to implement the custom events tag here and use the tag as well here to track which project got clicked and how many times. We can also pass in the additional data as metadata so we can see exactly which of the project was clicked. For the rest of the features, we will use, of course, the web analytics to see how many times users and from where have visited this website. We'll also use the speed insights tag to see how our site performs and how much time it needs to get loaded. We will use the SEO scanner to see how good we perform for the search engines, and we will use the accessibility scanner to see how we are in the accessibility compliance world to make our website more usable. And then in the end, we will use the Nano AI features to see what we can improve in the end of the video. So let's get started. To follow along, you will need to go to nanosights.dev. On the website, you can go here to the navigation and click sign up. You have three options for this. You can use your email or the GitHub or Google OAuth integration. I will use Google as it is the most convenient option for me right now. This will redirect me to my dashboard, and after 1 or 2 seconds you should be here and see your account has been created and you should be logged in. Now let's create our first project. For this I can click this button and enter a name. I will call it portfolio and give it a valid website URL. This is important as this is the validation on how NanoSights can access your website. So this website URL is unique and it must be the one you will use for your project. You can give it a description or leave it blank and I will just hit save. This will create a project and it should appear here. Now that our project has been created, we can go into it to see all the options we have. We will start with the analytics, so let's go into it and do the instructions we get. First, we need to install the npm package. For this, you can go to your code terminal and paste this line. This should get you the latest install of Nano Analytics. The next step is to embed the tag. For this, I can grab this import statement and go to a layout file because this is the top level file of my website. This can vary for your project as all the frameworks are different, but in my case it is the layout file. So I will just go up here and paste the import statement, and then I can go into here and copy this custom element. As you see, the project key and the user ID are injected dynamically and you can just copy them over to your project. I will do it under the head and format it so it looks good. Now you can save and commit your changes and then deploy them live. After you deployed your changes, we can go to our website and hit Ctrl Enter. This will fire a new event, so let's go to the dashboard again and check if everything worked, because the last step is only to refresh the page. And as you see, it now has one visitor, a page view, and this is me from Switzerland. We can check this again by refreshing the page, and this should show me 2 page views and 1 visitor. And that's already it for web analytics. You saw we only had to install the npm package, import the script, and then use the embedded tag. And like that, you really already implemented the first step of improving your website. Now we can see from where our users come, which pages they visit, and how long they will stay. So let's continue with the speed insights. The insights are part of the Pro plan. So for this, we need to subscribe to it. You have 2 options here available. You can subscribe monthly or yearly. When you choose a yearly plan, you will save yourself 2 months. So let's click on this button and this will redirect us to the Stripe checkout. Here you can use Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Apple Pay, and so on. I will fill in my data and then we will see us shortly. After everything worked, you should now see this screen. Your subscription has been activated successfully. We will see all the features we have in our Pro plan under these categories. You can update your payment method here or download your invoices from here as well. Now that we're on the Pro plan, we don't have this lock anymore and we can access the Insights dashboard. The installation is the same as for the analytics. We can install the M package using our console and embed the tag with the script. This will again be placed in my layout, the root file of my framework, and then I can use the HTML, put it under the analytics, so we have a concise code base, and then we can commit the changes and push them live. Back on our live side, I will refresh the page again so we can trigger the event. Then the last step is to refresh the dashboard and this will show us the data. Again, it only took us 3 steps. We installed the npm package, embedded the tag, and pushed the changes live. And just like this, we have Speed Insights. This is very helpful as it shows us which parts of the website needs to be improved. So for instance, you're fetching data that is quite big, so it loads really slow for some users and devices. So with this data, you can see what data, or better said, what parts of your websites need to be updated to ensure that your website loads fast for every user. So let's continue with the custom events. This tag is really helpful as it allows us to track custom events. I told you in the beginning of this video that I want to use this button to track how many times it got clicked. This is just a really simple get in touch button because it only just really triggers a mail tool. So if you click it, it will open your mail driver and then you can send an email. But I also want to do this for these links down here, as we can pass metadata to the events we track with NanoSights. In this row here, I want to send the project that got clicked on. So we not only see how many times it got clicked, but we also see which project got clicked in a dynamic way. So let's continue and I will show you how we can do this. We can continue by going to the custom dashboard. So again, we will import the npm package and then we can embed the tag. For this, I can grab the import statements and put it here into the top and then use the tag like so. I will put it under the other tags. And then what's different with the custom element is that we have this track function. In this track function, we can pass in a event name and additional metadata. Let's copy this here and put it into my button. This is inside the navbar component, and here we have the get in touch button. So this is the button itself, and now I will put it into here. This is just an on-click handler, event handler, and this will use our track function, which is exposed by the npm package we installed. We can check if this has worked by triggering the event with the button. Now we can refresh the dashboard and it shows us one event and some additional data, like the event name. And now we want to use the already implemented custom tag to also track these projects down here, because I told you that we can pass additional data as metadata for dynamic content like this, where we can pass in, for instance, the project name to see which project got clicked. Because this topic is a bit more advanced, I want to use the documentation for guidance. Inside the tags, we will use the custom events tag. So let's go to this documentation. And here we have the tracking with metadata. I already provided a YouTube video that explains this in great detail, so I will keep my explanation now a bit shorter. In theory, we just need to pass in an additional argument to the track function. The first argument is always the event name, but the second argument can be an object containing these kinds of fields, but also additional fields. These fields, such as category, label, and value, are displayed when provided inside the dashboard here in these columns. And the additional data is just inside a JSON object. So let's go to the project again, and inside the project card, I have this link right here. I'm gonna provide a onClick handler, and this uses the track function. And then let's see what we need to do. We can pass in, like I said, the project, or better said, the event name. And this would be, let's say, project click. And then we can pass in an additional argument, our metadata. For this, I will use the value, or better said, the label. So let's provide a label, and this will be the title of the project. We could pass some additional data, but I will leave it at this stage. In order to see if this worked or not, we will need to trigger the event first. So let's click on a project and refresh the dashboard. Now we see that we have a project click and we have the data in here. The label is empty because we passed the variable as a JavaScript variable and not as a prop. Because in Astro, everything that is in the front matter is server-side rendered and will not be injected. But the idea is the same, so we will see that the data will be displayed in here. From now on, we will not use any tags anymore, as the custom element is the last one of NanoSights. We will use scanners to scan how our website performs. And then we can use the feedback we get to implement it into our website, and then potentially get better results. We'll continue with the SEO. This is critical as SEO, search engine optimizations, determine how your website gets ranked on Google. So for instance, if my website gets ranked really well, it will appear in the searches further at the top. But the other way around, if your SEO is bad, so if you don't have a good description, title, and everything else that makes search engine optimization what it is, you will rank lower, which will lead to less conversion. So let's implement some of our feedback. We can scan SEO by going into the SEO dashboard. Here we get the project URL again for the website or project we provided. So let's scan our website and get some results in here. We get an SEO score which determines between 0 and 100 how good our website performs, as well as some key SEO elements. For instance, I have a meta title. This is really important because this is something that will appear up here. I don't have a description and I don't have a canonical URL. We can see the issues again inside here with some more detailed information. For instance, it says us which element is affected by the problem. And for instance, if we have metadata problems, it's most likely to be inside the head where we have to place these kinds of features. So let's try to fix these two serious problems by adding some metadata and a canonical URL. To save ourselves some time, I let ChatGPT do the trick for us. I let him create some metadata and a canonical URL. As the problem suggests, it is inside the head elements that we need to place this content. So I will push the changes live and then we can see if this already improved the quality of our website. Back inside my dashboard, I will scan the SEO again. And now we see we get a better SEO score of 93. And of course, it found our metadata and our canonical URL. And if we go to the issues, we will see that we resolved a lot of them by just a few lines of code. And now Google will rank us probably a bit higher as our quality of a website improved. Accessibility is sadly not as big of a topic as SEO, but it should be because it includes a lot of people that normally wouldn't be able to use your website. For instance, we can just provide an alt description to images to let the screen reader provide the content of an image to blind people. So with just a few adjustments, we can include a lot of people that, like I said, wouldn't be able to use our website. And NanoSights also includes this feature. So let's implement some feedback. So let's try to make our website more accessible and fix some issues. Inside the accessibility dashboard, I get presented the same view as in the SEO dashboard, where I can just scan my websites and see the score I get. And I already get a 79, which is quite low. But fortunately enough, it provides us some issues we can fix. I have a critical issue which really needs to be fixed, a serial issue, and some moderate issues. Here in the issue tab, it tells me all the details of each individual issue I can fix. For instance, here it tells me that I have buttons that have no discernible text. So just like images have an alt property, you can provide an area label to buttons. If you want to learn more about specific topics, all of the details have links attached to them for some more documentation about it. For instance, here we have a button and it tells me that I can use the area label property to provide some kind of indicator of what the button should be. And here it tells me more which element is affected. So for instance, I have this button here that has some kind of SVG inside it, which is missing the area label. So I will try to fix that. And it also tells me about some other elements, like the links that also should be more discernible. I can see that I have these kind of elements. It seems that these are the footer links, and I will try to add some kind of information that I will rank higher. If you want to read more about the VCAG standards, you will find some documentation in here as well. Back inside my codebase, I located the affected elements and added some area labels to it. Here it told me that the SVG logos at the bottom have some missing area labels, as well as the hamburger menu in the navbar. And with these minor adjustments, we can see if this already improved our rankings. My changes are now live, so let's scan for a new review. And great, we already increased our score. We're now at 94. And the critical issue have been gone, as well as the serious issues. So here in the details, we will see that all of the links that have been problematic now have area labels and get removed from the issues table. So as you see, we already improved our website quite a bit. And now we saw all the dashboards of NanoSights. The last one is the Nano AI dashboard. This doesn't really add more information about the website, it just really takes all the context of the web analytics, speed insights, custom events, the SEO performance and the accessibility compliance, and puts that all together into a package and then creates some recommendations on how you can improve your website even more. So let's dive into it and see how we can still get some more out of our website. So let's quickly wrap up this video with the last tag card, NanoAI. NanoAI provides some recommendations about all the context of the data we collected in this video. It, for instance, saw that we should improve our heading structure because we had a problem with the sequential order. But if you want to know more about NanoAI, I would advise you just try it yourself, because there's nothing much that you will learn more of than by doing it yourself. And that's it. That's the entirety of NanoSights, because it really just is this. Some really tiny, small nano insights into your website. It should help you to see how your users engage with your website. It helps you understand what you could do to improve it, not only for SEO, but also for accessibility. And for me, NanoSights solves two problems. The first being, I don't like things being hard. I really love the Vercel analytics, as I can just install them, embed them, and analyze. But the problem is, as soon as I want to leave Next.js environment, I can't use it anymore because I'm tied to the Vercel ecosystem. You don't have this with NanoSights because all the tags are web framework agnostic, meaning everything that HTML and JavaScript runs, NanoSights will work. And the other thing is, I don't like having multiple tools for the same thing, insights into my website. So for this, NanoSights provide a lot of dashboards that help you do one thing: get your website better. So I hope you enjoyed this video and got a better view what NanoSights really is. See you in the next video. Bye.